Now on Denver 7 News at 7 a.m. on Local 3, the commander-in-chief traveling to Colorado today. The reason for President Biden's historic visit.
And with money tightening for so many families right now, the city of Denver wants to help put food on the table. The program to support those struggling to buy groceries right now.
Well, why drive to school when you could walk or roll today? The decades-old statewide event coming back.
And the place is going to be rocking tonight at Ball Arena as the puck drops on the Avs season. The newly crowned Stanley Cup champions have a lot of celebrating to do. In addition to the game, we have the build-up at Ball Arena coming tonight. They play the Chicago Blackhawks, but the center of attention will be the trophy and the unveiling of the new banner in the rafters. Should be a lot of fun.
A lot of hype, absolutely. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Nicole Brady.
And I'm Brian Sanders, and we want to get you started with a beautiful sunrise. Beautiful day ahead, Lisa.
It's going to be gorgeous. It got a little windy yesterday. Today, wind speeds will be upwards of around 20 to about 25 miles per hour, so a little breezy, a little stronger. Those winds up and through the mountains today. Very mild, though, and wow, what a beautiful sunrise. Get ready for a bright eastbound drive. We have clear skies out there this morning. It's a little chilly. We have some neighborhoods only in the upper 30s to low 40s right now, so a cold start. Make sure your kids have on an extra layer, a sweatshirt, a hoodie here early this morning. We'll get into the upper 60s by noon, and then it's t-shirt and shorts weather this afternoon. Low to mid 70s, but this time of year we do see some bigger swings when it comes to the lows in the morning and our afternoon highs, 50s and 60s in the mountains. Coming up, we'll take a look at a minor cool down tomorrow with a weak cold front rolling through. I'll show you if we're going to see any rain from it coming up.
And we have a major accident on the south side of town. It looks like the southbound side of I-25 right by Yale, and that left lane, the left center lane, all blocked up. Might be faster if you just use the light rail here this morning. Take a look from Air Tracker 7, and we're looking straight down in this crash. So here's the ramp that would come from Yale to head south. If you jumped on from Yale, you're going to actually save some time, so if you can get down to that point. But here is the most part of the wreck right in here, and we have some tow trucks that are on the way, and we're going to have this in there for quite some time. So right now the drive time at a half an hour. It's going all the way back to Broadway now, so that's solid stop and go traffic. A lot of folks are going to try to use University, use Broadway, use some of those side streets to get over to Yale or to Hamden and see some relief, a little bit of relief there. Over at Sable and Mississippi, a crash on the east side of town and a lot of heavy traffic getting into downtown from those north end freeways right now.
Well, President Biden will be in Colorado this morning as part of an effort to protect and conserve America's iconic outdoor spaces. He will designate Camp Hale near Leadville as a new national monument. It was a U.S. Army mountain training site during World War II.
It was high altitude training. It's over 9,000 feet. It had lots of access to 14,000 foot surrounding mountains nearby, right outside their back door. It also, at the time, had a train station that went right to it so that the recruits from around the United States would change trains at Union Station in Denver, and then they would take the train right up into Camp Hale.
I love the history around it. The Colorado Snow Sports Museum in Vail has an exhibit on Camp Hale and the 10th Mountain Division that trained there. The museum also talks about how some of those soldiers came back to Colorado to create our ski industry after the war.
Taking a look at the bigger picture here, Camp Hale will become Colorado's 9th national monument. So maybe you've been to the others. They are Browns Canyon, which is best known for rafting, Colorado National Monument in Grand Junction, Chimney Rock, Canyons of the Ancients, Hovenweep, and Yucca House, which are all Native American historical sites in southern Colorado. The fluorescent fossil beds and dinosaur national monuments celebrate ancient history there, prehistoric. National monuments are created by presidents, whereas national parks are created by an act of Congress. And something you may not have realized, Colorado had 2 national monuments delisted. Mount of the Holy Cross was declared a monument in 1933. People would make pilgrimages to climb Notch Mountain for the view of the cross, but it was abolished because it was just too difficult to reach. Wheeler's geologic area near Crete is also an interesting formation made of layers of volcanic ash. It was a national monument from 1908 till 1950, but it was also downgraded because it was difficult to access. It required a 16-mile round-trip hike or a very rough drive to get there.
Very off-road. Well, we now know more about who was behind a cyber attack on major U.S. airports this week, including DIA's website. A Russian hacking group known as Killnet is claiming responsibility for it. It's unclear if they have ties to the actual Russian government, but they recently began targeting organizations in NATO countries. They were able to take down some airports' websites using what's known as a DDoS attack. Cybersecurity experts say that's alarming. It worked because it's one of the oldest methods around. It became popular back in the 1990s.
Soaring grocery prices are hitting all of us, but especially our most vulnerable neighbors.
Denver, the city of Denver, is launching a gift card program to help families buy food right now. Denver 7's Jessica Crawford joins us live with why they're hoping this method will work.
Yeah, Brian, even with those rising prices, so many of us take for granted being able to just go to a local neighborhood grocery store like the one right here behind me, be able to pick up the food we want for the most part whenever we want to. Well, the city of Denver is hoping that giving out those gift cards will actually give more access to more people to be able to do things like that. They're doing this with COVID relief money, and they believe that it could help thousands of families, but first they have to qualify. So here's what could qualify you. If you're a single person, you have to make about $27,000 per year or less. For families of 4, the amount is $55,000 or less. The cards are at a first come, first served basis, so here's how you can get one. Denver residents can apply right now on the city's website or by calling 720-944-3080. You can also email DHS Inflation Relief at denvergov.org. If you're eligible, then Denver Human Services staff is going to reach out to you next week so that you can pick up your gift card by walk up at one of their locations. If you don't get a gift card, then help is still available to you at DHS Mobile Food Pantry or at a number of upcoming events. And at those events, the city is planning to hand out 8,000 different boxes of food. There's an event even this Saturday and several others throughout the month. If you're still in need of food assistance, then you can reach out straight to DHS directly, and you can do that by calling the number 1-800-536-5928. Live in Denver, I'm Jessica Crawford, Denver 7.
Thank you, Jessica. A lot of help available right now because demand is so high. Applications are now open for Denver's Basic Income Project. That program will award varying amounts of cash to 820 homeless individuals or families in Denver. The vision is to shorten the timeline to be able to get into stable housing or find steady employment. The Colorado Coalition for the Homeless will track how people use the money. The application process is open through November 3rd.
The Avs take the ice tonight for their season opener against the Chicago Blackhawks at Ball Arena. It'll be an exciting night for the fans. The team will unveil a 3rd Stanley Cup banner right before tonight's game.
Yeah, that's the last time we saw them on the ice right there. Ahead of tonight's game, the Avs got their Stanley Cup rings on Monday. Check out this presentation. After each player opened a box, inside was the massive ring and a video screen on the box that was playing basically these highlights inside the ring box. And it's a massive ring, too.
Yeah, a lot of diamonds.
A lot of diamonds on it. Of course, if you're a fan and you can't actually be at the games, it's been a tough 3 years for Comcast subscribers specifically who haven't been able to see the Avs play on TV.
Yeah, an ongoing dispute between Comcast and Altitude has kept Avs and Nuggets games, among others, off the air. Altitude just launched a new campaign to up the pressure on Comcast. Check it out here, a digital billboard on the side of the truck here that counts down the days since Comcast has not responded to the latest offer from Altitude. An online petition demanding Comcast carry Altitude Sports has more than 50,000 signatures. Dr. Kelly Evans is a professor of sports management at MSU Denver. She thinks the dispute could hurt Comcast.
In this context, I think we're really going to see fans start to speak up and start to call people and start to cut the cable and leave Comcast behind if they can't reach a negotiation.
We emailed Comcast. They said Altitude's position requires nearly every Comcast customer in Denver to pay a fee, regardless of whether they watch the channel or not.
Yeah. Better news here and a little bit of hope to see their games. Avs and Nuggets fans with Comcast will have an option to watch games through the streaming service Fubo TV. Altitude Sports has reached an agreement with them, although Fubo TV as a whole package is not free. The cheapest plan is $70 a month. Broncos, meanwhile, visit LA next to take on the Chargers for Monday Night Football. Like it or not, they have been in the spotlight a lot this season. It is their fourth primetime game in 6 weeks.
Yeah, and quarterback Russell Wilson says he should be ready to play. Of course, he'll be playing in pain after injuring his right shoulder, his throwing arm. Head coach Nathaniel Hackett wouldn't say exactly how long Russ will be in the game, but he did say the 11 days between their last game and Monday night should help.
Russell's a competitor, and he knows that we're not where we want to be. And I know that he wants to do everything in his power to get this offense, this team, to where we all want to be. We're at 2-3. We are who we are, and we need to get better, and he knows that, and he's going to do everything in his power to get us there.
You can watch the game right here on Denver 7. Monday Night Football coverage starts at 5 p.m. Kickoff is just after 6, and then stick around for our post-game coverage.
All of this comes as the NFL considers a change to its rule book. Next week, a league committee will discuss recent roughing the passer penalties. It follows outrage over 2 disputed calls in Week 5 games. One was against the Chiefs on the Raiders' Derek Carr. The other was against the Falcons on the Bucs' Tom Brady. Head injuries certainly have been a headline this year as far as the safety measures around them. One suggestion with roughing the passer is to allow video reviews on the subjective calls, but the NFL says no changes will take effect till next season.
Well, you put it on the salads, dip your wings in it, even pizza covered in ranch is a good thing, but your walls, your couches, the new territory for ranch dressing. One
special salmon swiper has risen to the top in the battle between the heftiest heavyweight grizzlies around. The winner of Fat Bear Week coming up.